Alright, so I'm going to make something out of my scrap bin again. I want to use them up, but one of the main reasons I'm doing this is for at least 63 years, if not more. I was 15, 63 years ago, believe it or not. And there was something I know I wanted. You know, I had an after-school job, and I didn't make enough money to buy one of these things that I wanted. After this long, I've decided to heck with it. I'm going to make one of them, and we'll see how it works out. So I'm going to record a lot of that, and I'll try to put it up as a video. It won't have anything to do with wood turning, but it'll have a lot to do with other things I really love doing. So think about that while I show you the scrap I'm using today. This is a scrap from the Myrtle that I did recently, got from Dennis. And I also was thinking I have leftover rings from segmented turning. Being that this is small and I want to highlight this beautiful grain in here, I think I will cap it off with this ring. That's the plan. That could change, but that is the plan right now. So I have marked a place for a worm screw, and this wants to be the top because the heartwood's going to disappear real fast. If I come down through there, it's going to be all gone. Let me get a hole in there, we'll get it mounted up, and see if we can put all this together and make it look pretty cool. Be right back. Okay, I don't think I need to cut these corners off. It's not going to be all that much, so we're just going to turn them off. Alright, let's see if I can get this rounded up real quick and then go in and cook lunch. We're doing about 880 RPM, 5/8 bowl gouge. Alright, that is round enough. Looks like I got some punky wood. I see some nice chatoyance here. Some more punky wood. I think it's going to be okay. I'll see you shortly. Okay, I'm back. I've just kind of looked this over, and I've got some punky wood on the ends. Hoping I can turn that away. I want to take as little as I can off the base here because that's where all the heartwood is at. Switch into a 1/2" bowl gouge and probably still about 950 RPM. Oh, so right about now I realized the camera was not on, or it wasn't working. I don't know if you saw that last cut or not. I was pretty sure the camera was running, but I just mentioned that this is really pretty wood here. It's nice and hard. It's got chatoyance up in here, and I think that, oh yeah, right there too. I put a mark on here for a recess. I think that's what we're going to do. I don't want to take any more away from this area here. I already have that mark on there, and I just don't know if that got recorded or not. So let's go ahead and cut a recess in there, and then we'll see about trying to clean up that punky wood. I'm actually going to leave something right here so I have a center, because I'll come back afterwards and clean that recess up and I can center it off of this point. At least that is the plan. Cut a dovetail on here, and then I'll come back to this area here. Hopefully we can smooth that up. See if we can clean this up with a scraper. If that doesn't work, I have some wood hardener I might put in it. Yeah, it's not really good. I sure hope I don't have it on the inside. I'm going to put some of the wood hardener on this. Go outside. My wife's doing the gardening. That's why I cooked lunch. And it's really nice out, so I'll be back shortly. Well, maybe not so short. So if you're wondering, this is the wood hardener that I've used. It's I've had it for quite a while. There's still some left in there. I figured it would evaporate off, but it hasn't. It's kind of pretty powerful stuff. I think it probably has acetone in it. So I'll just soak this up like so, toughen it up, and then I might do my sanding trick to help fill up the other places. So we're just trying to toughen this up. Okay, I let that wood hardener sit on there for quite a while. I went over this with 80 grit, and I still have a few spots I want to fill, but what I like to do on something that's really bad like that is sand it with, I like to use the water-based sanding sealer. It's a Minwax product, and you can do it with shellac as well, but these are quite a bit bigger. It's going to take longer, so I think I'll use this. This will make a slurry. You can see that happening right now, and it's actually filling with little pits. Those look like they're filled up right now. I'll get these like this, just isolating each area and doing it. Then I'll turn the lathe on and sand the whole thing. It might take 2 times if they're real deep, but maybe not. So I'm going to run this in reverse at about 120 RPM, and we'll just keep sanding it like so, keeping it wet till we make a slurry, like so. Okay, I'll get this done, and we'll get it sanded up, show you some of that up to 400, and then we'll put a finish on it. Alright, I am back. A little longer than what I planned, but this is nice and dry. I had to fix a little windmill. I have this spinning about 300 RPM, lathe in reverse. I'll start up the dust collector and we'll see how this sands. Pretty good. I'll go ahead and start sanding it with the 2-inch pad now, and this will still be 80 grit. I'll work my way up to 400. I'll come back and put some kind of a finish on it. Alright, I just finished this off with 400. So I want to show you again, I've showed it before, but the last thing I do before I put finish on was not that, but you need to do that in between grits. So this is the fine Scotch Brite. I mean, this looks pretty shiny right now, but I think you're going to see a lot more here in a minute. Yeah, see that? It's just like a piece of glass. So I'm going to go ahead and put some sanding sealer on this. Let me get some protection on my lathe and I'll be right back. So I'm using the Minwax water-based sanding sealer because I plan on using the polyacrylic for the final finish. They're both water-based. This is one of the easier finishes to put on, and you can get an excellent finish if you just make sure you don't leave any streaks, just like with all the finishes. That's it right there. So the polyacrylic, it looks just like this. Something else in it, I guess, it gives it a better protection. So I'm not going to show you that. And when I come back, I'll have it flipped around. And if you wanted to, you can get it in like this. But even if I did that, I'm going to come back and make sure I don't have any streaks. A streak will dry in the shape that you left it, then you have to deal with it. Alright, that's actually a very attractive piece of wood for a scrap. Nice chatoyance, pretty grain. Don't get much better than that. Okay, time to flatten this off. Then I'll start hollowing it out, have a look at the grain on the inside, and then I'll decide whether we want to put this ring on there or not. Doing about 750 RPM half-inch bowl gouge. So after measuring what I have here, I decided it's time to glue this ring on. And we'll see how it works out. I can always turn it off if I don't like it. And I'll just put this in here so I can put some pressure on it. Alright, I'll let that sit for an hour or two. I've got some other things I can do. Alright, this has probably been sitting for an hour. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the outside, and I'll flatten the face of it and see where we're at. .800 RPM. Yeah, much better. Alright, I think I'm getting really close here. At least in the middle. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. A little under 3/8. And I'm not sure, I do have that punky wood I got to deal with. So I'm probably going to be taking some of that off, and I think that will be all we need to do. So I'll use the scraper for some of that, and we'll do some sanding. So most of it scraped pretty good, but the area where it was punky is still kind of rugged looking. So I'm going to start with 80 grit on the 2-inch disc, sanding dry. After that, I'll use 80 grit and I'll sand it using the sanding sealer, the water-based sanding sealer. That will fill in some of these other areas, and I think it'll look okay. I'm going to have the lathe running forward at about 350. So same process, using 80 grit. I like to get quite a bit on there before I really do any sanding. And once I have enough on there, I'll spin the lathe somewhat slowly and just do this. And it's already making a slurry. See, that is the slurry that it makes. And that's mostly the wood that comes off of there. Since the inside's a lot harder to see, I'm going to show the polyacrylic going on the outside. It'd be much easier to see. So I've got 2 coats of the water-based sanding sealer, and now I'm going to put the polyacrylic on. It's very similar. I don't know the makeup of it, but I do know it is a little bit different, so that's why I use it that way. Real easy to do. If you've never wiped any finishes on, I would say this would be a perfect one to practice with. It's like any finish that you wipe on, don't leave any drops, streaks, or anything. It dries, it should be pretty much done. Although I will buff this out with the white Scotch Brite pad. So that's what that looks like. Now I'll go around it. If I see anything that I don't like on there, I'll just hit it once like so. And we're going to let that dry, and it'll happen real fast. It's actually 88 degrees right now. And then I'll probably put maybe 2 more coats of this on. So after that, I'll show you how it turned out, because it'll be done. I've just got this disc here, and it's on a worm screw. I'll use some of this shelf material like so, and then I'll put the bowl against that piece of wood and the shelf material, and I have that leftover center that I had, and this should line it up pretty close. And all I'm going to do is turn away this recess, and then I'll just sand the rest, and that will come off very easily. Let's see how this spins. Not too bad at all. Okay, so we'll use a 1/2-inch bowl gouge, and I can see that's a little bit high, and we'll just cut that away. just about like that, and I'll just sand this up, get it signed, and put some finish on it, and I'll be right back and show it to you. Well, it is all done, and there was no way I was going to burn this little scrap of myrtle wood, because this is only the second piece of myrtle wood that I've turned, and I didn't want to turn it into smoke and ashes. So here it is. I think it's a beautiful piece of wood. Inside, both the inside and outside have lots of interesting grain, a lot of contrast. This area right up through here that's coming up vertical, it's pretty cool. I don't know what was going on there, but nature just does what it does. And then this is really nice here as well. It finished 6 1/4 inches in diameter. It's 2 1/4 inches tall, and the walls are 1/4 of an inch. And the base is slightly less than an 1/8 inch down in that pocket. I used Minwax water-based sanding sealer and Minwax polyacrylic for the finish. And one reason I chose it was this piece not only was small, it had a lot of punky areas in there. And from what I've done before, I know that the water-based sanding sealer does a good job of creating a nice slurry. You really can't even see where it was punky in there anymore. It just did a really good job. So, not only that, that extra segmented ring that I had no use for now sits on top of a beautiful piece of myrtle wood. Let me know what you think about that. Do you like it looking like this? I know I sure do. Special thanks to Dennis for the myrtle wood. I had a lot of fun turning this, and I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, do me a favor and click that like button. And while you're there, it would be great if you could share the video around. Those two things will really help my channel grow. Leave a comment. I read them all, and I do my best to answer them all. Thanks to all my subscribers. And if you're not, please consider doing so. I do a mix of all types of turnings. Some are simple and some are complex, so let me know your favorite. Thanks again, and until the next time, see you later.